Paul Bloom, you have yourself to blame for this one, I think. I've read this in some of your material. Do liberals' brains really work differently from conservatives? Take it away.
Well, there's a cheating answer, which is, of course they have to, because one brain is liberal and has liberal views, and others have conservative views. But that's the cheat. You're asking whether sort of systematic differences.
Wasn't there some brain scan research on that?
There's a fair amount of brain scan research, and the answer is that probably yes. And I won't answer at the level of the brain, but I'll answer at the level of what the brain does. And I'll mention two differences. One difference is that, and this is some work done mostly by the psychologist Jonathan Haidt, where liberals in America tend to think in terms of a morality that's based on rights and justice. We would ask, if I'm a liberal, say, will that harm anybody? Does it infringe on anybody's rights? Conservatives have a broader foundation of morality. That includes notions of patriotism, like community, notions of purity related to disgust, notions of sanctity. And actually, the conservative worldview, that moral worldview, is much more common around the world. Liberals are very unusual in their focus, their narrow focus on these, on a sort of specific domain. One particular difference that stems from this that I've been very excited by in my own work concerns the emotion of disgust. And what I found is conservatives are more prone to be more easily disgusted than liberals. And this might have to do with certain moral attitudes connected to being liberal and being conservative, having to do with the domain of sex.
Can you just define disgust for
Yes.
a minute? What are they disgusted with?
So you can be disgusted at, everybody is disgusted at things like dog poop or rotten meat or the smell of urine. They're all disgusting. Ugh. But disgust is broader than that. So many people are disgusted by a certain sex acts. Many people are disgusted by male homosexuality. Disgust, I think, has had a very ugly history. People used to be disgusted at interracial marriage. They used to say, I can't explain why it's wrong, but it's just gross. And so there's a lot of debate over the boundaries of disgust. But one reason why many people disapprove so much of male homosexuality is that it disgusts them. And they say it's just disgusting. And then some of them say, ergo, it's wrong. And I think conservatives are more prone to make that inference than liberals. You can study this in subtle ways, and I've done this where I've looked at how easily disgusted they are. You can also just ask. Conservatives are more likely than liberals to say that they're disgusted at certain sex acts, and they're also more likely than liberals to say, and it matters. It is a moral argument, many conservatives say, like Leon Cass, for instance, that if something disgusts me, then I should wonder whether it's wrong. And I think that that's a very interesting difference between liberals and conservatives.
Wow.